Nathan Roberts, and I'm going to be speaking with you about the Boeing company and their 737 MAX plane that they released in 2017. Boeing released the 737 MAX 8 and MAX 9 in 2017. When these planes were released, they were revered around the airline community as very safe and sound and big steps forward in the aviation community. Things took a turn for the worse in 2019 when Lion Air Flight 610 departed from Jakarta, Africa, and started to experience altitude issues. After the altitude issues, the pilots started to experience an uncontrolled nosedive, which put the plane into the ocean, and the pilots couldn't do a thing about it. Not 5 months later, Ethiopian Flight 302 departing from Nairobi, it started to experience very similar issues. Altitude problems at first, and then 13 minutes after takeoff, an uncontrolled nosedive into the ground. In total, the Boeing 737 MAX has taken 346 lives. After these two crashes, obviously, the airline community, airline regulation community, and federal administrators were very concerned about the validity of this aircraft. The FAA ultimately made the decision to ground all Boeing 737 MAX 8s and MAX 9s that were in service commercially while they conducted an investigation. After the crashes in 2019 that led to the deaths of those 346 people, Boeing CEO Dennis Muilenburg testified before the U.S. Senate. Before the U.S. Senate, he was heard to say that he and Boeing were responsible for the deaths of all 346 people. He was quoted as saying that if they had known what they know now about the 737 MAX back then, they would have grounded the plane after the first crash. He also mentions that it's one of the biggest failures of his career and seems very sincere about his involvement with this plane. The FAA has since said that the Boeing 737 MAX problems have been figured out, and they have cleared the aircraft to fly again in the commercial space. 6 months after the clearance to fly commercially again, the Boeing 737 MAX was hit yet again with controversy after an electrical issue was found in the plane. After this electrical issue was found, the FAA re-grounded the Boeing 737 MAX, as well as new deliveries that were going to airlines were suspended until they figured this issue out. Basically what we had here was a misjudgment of technology by Boeing, an overlook, a bypass, and something that ultimately led to the deaths of hundreds of people who were unsuspecting of such a fatality. What we can learn from this is greed and due diligence. You need to do your due diligence and not look over things for the sake of greed. And to me, that's clearly what happened here. It was a bypass in order to save money, and it led to technological issues that the plane started to nosedive. So it's something that you obviously don't want as an airline company, and they came out and admitted that this is what happened and paid $2.5 billion as a settlement. To some people that may be worth it, but to some people that may be just throwing money into the fire. Thank you.